local children's book author is set to release a new book on the sculpture of Serena the Mermaid in Salado. Joining me now is Sherry Wall and Troy Kelly, the sculptor behind Serena. Sherry, tell me a little bit about why you chose to write this book.
Well, actually, Troy asked me to write the book. He saw some of the other children's books that I had produced in rhyme, and he thought, let's make a rhyming book about the legend of Serena, and I was just super honored and excited to write it.
Great. Troy, why don't you tell us who Serena is?
Serena is actually an Indian mermaid that my grandmother told me the story of her when I was a small boy. And I've always thought I was so intrigued with that story, and I saw the spring there in Salado. I thought that would be a great location for the sculpture.
Do you know where your grandmother pulled this Native American legend from?
I have no idea. She used to claim some heritage, but Grandma was always a little devious about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, tell us a little bit about your art and where it is in Salado.
Well, I'm up and down Main Street mainly. Serena was the first public art sculpture in Salado, also the first sculpture dedicated in the state of Texas and the sesquicentennial in 1986.
Why don't you tell us about your dedication and giving this to the village of Salado?
Well, I had wanted to have some funding, but unfortunately at the time they couldn't afford it. So I actually cast her out of used water meters that came from Waco, Texas.
Wow.
They were bronze water meters that had been salvaged, and we had them there in Salado at a place out, a foundry there. And so we melted those down and cast the original Serena out of these used water meters.
That's incredible. And when was the original Serena created?
I started in 1985, finished in 1986. And that's the reason we got into the sesquicentennial of that. So.
Okay, and you are writing a book about Serena. Tell us about your book.
Well, it was amazing to have the legend already from Grandma Kelly, and I was able just to rewrite the legend in rhyming text. I like to write in rhyme for children because it's so great for their brains. And we are actually kicking off our Indiegogo funding campaign for the book today. It's my first hardcover project, so we're excited about raising funds for the production. And today's International Mermaid Day, so that's why we picked today to start off and launch the event. And it's a place, Indiegogo is where people can go to pre-sale the book. They can make a donation, they can see lots of pictures, and we talk more about the story, and Troy gets more into the backstory of the legend and the sculpture, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, I love this, and I love you've written several other books, and so now you have one that's tied to Central Texas. So special for us, and this is just a match made in heaven. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.